Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to this press conference. I would like, before giving the floor to FIFA President Gianni Infantino, to give you some practical information. First of all, the translation channels. Channel 1 is English, Channel 2 is Français, Channel 3 is Espanol, Channel 4 is German, Deutsch, Channel 5 is Russian. And I would also like to inform you or to remind you that after this press conference, there will be another press conference.
Yeah.
There is no Arabic channel. Can someone... You have it? Channel 6.
And there is? No. There, yes.
I have not the Arabic channel on my...
Sorry. ما بعرف.
مش معقول. والله مش معقول. شكرا. عن إذنك. So if someone can help our Arabic colleagues who are sitting in the second row, would be very nice. So, just then to remind you that there will be, after this press conference, another one with the winners of the bid, United bid. So stay with us. And when you ask questions, please say your name and the name of your organization, and try to wait a bit for our translators to finish their translation. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to opening remarks from FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
Thank you. Thank you, Fabrice. Ladies and gentlemen, just first let me just say 2 words, please. Welcome. Dobro Vajalovat. Welcome to everyone here in Moscow. Welcome to this press conference. Welcome to our Congress. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you as well, directly now. Before giving you the floor, of course, for any question you might have, I don't know why this is making this, maybe this, okay. Let me just say a couple of words. Well, the first thing I would like to say is very simple, is that actually today you have a happy man in front of you, a happy president of FIFA in front of you, because I think we showed in this Congress and in the previous years how we are operating, how we are working, and in particular, of course, the bidding process for the 2026 World Cup, which ended today with a vote by the Congress for the first time. It's historic in FIFA. For the first time, a vote by the Congress went actually extremely well. And I have to pay tribute to the Moroccan bid, to its president, for the nice words he had at the end. This shows that this was, as it has to be, a sporting competition, that of course everyone wants to win, but where of course you can also lose. And when you lose, and that's the good thing about football, isn't it? It's when you win, you are happy until the next game. When you lose, you are sad. But you're sad for 1 or 2 days, and then you start focusing on the next game, on the next challenge. This is one of the philosophies of football, which is always positive as well for real life. And I think we have shown the way we are trying to conduct things. It's not always easy, it's not always simple. But at the end of the day, the work pays, the transparency pays. the seriousness, pace, and we are here today looking forward to tomorrow, because actually the decision today to on the host of the 2026 World Cup is something which will enter into force in 8 years from now. Now we can really focus on what starts tomorrow, which is football on the pitch, which is what we all love, what billions of people around the world love, and this we never have to forget it. So it's much more important that you write your stories on the games, on the goals, on the saves, on the fans, on the celebration which will live here in Russia in the next months, because for all the rest, you know, we are trying to take care as good as we can. So again, thanks for being here, and I wish you all a fantastic World Cup, and I hope you appreciate it as well, this Congress, the same way as I did, and I think certainly all the delegates as well. Thank you.
First question, Richard Conway.
Richard Conway from BBC. Mr. Infantino, are you breathing a very big sigh of relief today, given the promises of revenues that the United bid say they can deliver on? What does that mean for FIFA's finances going into the future? And also, you've talked a lot today about transparency, you've talked about openness, about you being a Renaissance man at one point in terms of how you've taken FIFA forward. But yet in April, your Secretary General was the subject of a very spurious ethics complaint submitted by the task force, of which 3 very senior members of FIFA are part of, that was swiftly dismissed. What did you make of that ethics complaint? And do you think there should be a subsequent complaint into those who made that spurious allegation?
It's funny, you know, as some always try to find la petite bête, as they say in French, no? Or the German, they say das Haar in der Suppe, no? The hair in the soup. I cannot say this because, you know, but you are also not too far from that. I don't know if there is an English expression for that, but always to try, you know, when we have good news, let's try to find a bad one, and let's try to focus on that. You know, I think that, as I said already, you know, the process was there, it was transparent, but there was a complaint. There have been other instances in which, of course, the person who was in charge of the ethics investigatory chamber, who followed this process from A to Z, has been focusing on. These are the mechanisms that I was speaking about as well, that we have put in place. So there is no problem or no issue that some topics are raised if there is a feeling that they have to be raised. The important is to deal with them professionally, appropriately, and this is what the Ethics Committee has certainly done. And let's not forget as well that one of the things that we wanted, and I wanted in particular, very thoroughly for this bidding process is, and this also is something new that has never happened before, that not only everything is public, is clear, is open and whatever, but also that the whole process is followed by an independent external auditor. BDO was appointed, and BDO followed the whole process. They will make as well their own report. They reported to the council meeting the day before yesterday, and I think this is what counts. We have to look, I think, into the positives, which are very, very big. We have to learn, because of course not everything was perfect. It was the first time we embarked in a process like this. We learned ourselves a lot in terms of the wording of the regulations, some unintended consequences of some of the wording of the regulations. But that's how it is. We started, we did it for the first time. I think something like this would have been unimaginable some years ago. Now it has become not only reality, but, you know, it has worked. Maybe we were just lucky that it worked well. I don't know. I hope that it was also thanks to the work that we performed, and I want to congratulate really the whole team who has worked on this whole bidding process, and I'm sure that we can take the learnings from what happened and make it even better next time. On the revenues. Well, these are projections, of course. We will now sit down, our teams will sit down and will start focusing as well on the World Cup 26. We see and we know where it will take place now. So I'm sure that the commercial plans will have to be elaborated. Until now, we didn't do anything as far as FIFA is concerned in this respect because, we didn't know yet where the World Cup was going to take place. But having said that, and on the money, because obviously the money is not the only element, obviously. We have to focus on the football, I said it many times, but the money we generate, we can reinvest it in football. And I just would like to repeat that when I started in February 2016, the budget for this 4-year period was 5 billion as far as revenues are concerned. 5 billion, right? 2 months after my election, I proposed to the Congress to increase this budget because I was confident to 5.6 billion, which the Congress accepted. Now we know that we are at over 6.1 billion. And again, we are coming from a situation where many of you were writing FIFA is toxic and nobody wants to come anywhere close to FIFA and whatever. Well, maybe this was the case. Certainly it is not anymore the case. So I hope that we can generate even more than what the projections of the United team, bidding team is for the future. We'll certainly do the best that we can and put the best people to work on this venture to make sure that we can organize a fantastic World Cup and that we can have great revenues for reinvestment in football.
Buenos días, señor Infantino. Joaquín Maroto, del diario AS de España. ¿Me va a permitir una pregunta de actualidad que interesa a todos los países a 24 horas del comienzo de la Copa del Mundo? Y es la destitución del seleccionador nacional de España por su fichaje por un club cuando ya está aquí en Rusia. El estatuto del jugador contempla en el artículo 16 que esto con los futbolistas no se puede hacer, pero no dice nada de los seleccionadores nacionales. ¿Qué le parece la situación? ¿Qué opina sobre ello? Y si cree que también debería regularse la situación de los seleccionadores.
No lo sé, de verdad no lo sé. Lo aprendí ahora veniendo acá de la sala de congresos. Es verdad que el reglamento del estatuto de los jugadores prevé solamente situaciones de, si podemos decir, traspasos de jugadores y entrenadores entre clubes. Esta situación es un poquito particular y bueno, es algo que seguramente, una situación de la cual seguramente se va a hablar mucho en España. Es muy difícil, sin saber qué se pasó concretamente, dar una opinión de esto, pero bueno, estoy seguro que Luis Rubiales, su equipo, que son gente de fútbol, tomando una decisión como esta, que no es simple, habrán evaluado todas las opciones. Y dicho esto, todos conocemos al mister Lopetegui, es un gran entrenador y le deseamos muchísima suerte con el Madrid, pero también mucha suerte a España porque el Mundial está empezando y es claro que algo como esto no es una situación ideal por empezar un Mundial. Dicho esto, si me acuerdo la situación de, por ejemplo, Italia en el Mundial 2006, que tenía también muchos problemas, bueno, al final salió campeón del mundo. Entonces, en el fútbol nunca se sabe, ¿no? Quizás que situaciones que creemos van a ser negativas, al final van a ser positivas, y es lo que espero, que van a ser positivas por todos los actores en este sentido. Gracias.
Martín Fernández.
Presidente, buenas tardes. Martín Fernández de Globo Brasil. Con este mundial de 48 selecciones, ¿cómo FIFA va a hacer con las eliminatorias? ¿Qué tipo de cambio van a tener que hacer, ya que son mucho más cupos, especialmente en Sudamérica, que son 10 países y tendrán 6 o 7 países? ¿Cómo van a resolver las eliminatorias?
Bueno, estos son temas que tenemos que discutir con las confederaciones. Como sabe usted, las confederaciones tienen que proponernos sistemas de clasificatorias y vamos a hablar con ellos para ver cómo se puede hacer en el mejor de los sistemas. Los hechos de los cupos, por ejemplo, por Sudamérica, los 6,5, ya se sabe desde un rato cuando hemos tomado esa decisión, no sé, hace un año más o menos, creo. Y entonces creo que ya están empezando a pensarlo. Pero bueno, si se ve, por ejemplo, que en este mundial no hay Chile, no hay Paraguay, no hay equipos sudamericanos muy fuertes, Chile campeón de América, creo que tener una o dos equipos más de Sudamérica, bueno, va a ser una nota muy positiva por el mundial. Luego, como sabe también, estamos pensando también a otros tipos de competiciones en el respeto del calendario internacional, por supuesto. Y bueno, vamos a ver si podemos venir con una buena idea conjuntamente con CONMEBOL.
We have 4 questions there, starting maybe with ladies first.
Shukran.
Afwan.
Okay, I want to ask about the next election. What's the program for you?
For
yes.
me?
Because last election, I remember you promised for every confederation $5 million for 4 years.
Yes.
Do you have other offer?
Well, I have certainly, as I was saying, a vision. Now today I just announced that I'm going to stand for re-election next year. I know where I believe football should go and FIFA should go, but this can be done only working together with all the confederations and with all the associations, and we will continue to do that. I was elected based on a manifesto, on a program which did foresee a multiplication by 4 of the development funds, so indeed 5 million over 4 years for each member association, which is what we are doing now. And in spite of this, our finances and our financial results and our reserves will be at record height compared to the history of FIFA. So in spite of the increased investment, I wouldn't say in spite actually, I would say thanks to the concrete investment, because if you want to generate revenues, you need also to invest, and you need probably to start investing. So what we have announced today, and this is independent of the election of Gianni Infantino or not, and was what the Congress has approved today, before I announced anything, was the budget for the next 4 years. And in the budget for the next 4 years, there is already an increase of 20%, which is foreseen for the development fund. So each association will receive 6 million over 4 years instead of 5 over 4 years, 1 million more. And this is not linked with any sort of presidential situation or not, because it was presented, it was sent to the associations 2 months ago in the financial report. It was proposed, it was voted, and it will be implemented. But in addition to the forward program and development program, we'll have some other ideas that we will develop for sure.
Mr. President, the United bid winning the World Cup 2026. It will be a hassle-free until 2026 because of the good job which has been done by the FIFA in terms of the bidding process, instilling more transparency, readdressing the entire situation in football, or because it has gone to the stronger bidder. And the second point of my question is, do you think one country can host a 48 format in a comfortable way? Thank you.
Thank you. I think a big country, yes, a big country can host a 48 tournament. But, one of the points that we put, that I had in my manifesto and that we put in place as from the beginning of this bid was that we open to co-hosting. Because actually a World Cup taking place only every 4 years, I mean, it's almost a pity if it takes place only in one country and not other countries can also benefit from this excitement of a World Cup. Having said that, as I told, well, I don't think it is an issue to co-host a World Cup because we need to be also responsible. And if you are a responsible organization, and we've been criticized as well in the past, we need to look at sustainable development, at legacy. We need to look at what a World Cup leaves in a country, and especially World Cup with 48 teams, with 14 or maybe even 16 stadiums. Maybe it can be shared, indeed, between more than one country, and all countries can benefit with 1, 2, 3 or 4 venues, which will help and boost their football. So I think this is positive, and of course I'm congratulating, after having thanked the Moroccan bid, I'm congratulating the United bid as well for their success today. And please allow me as well to say that, I think in particular in these days, to have a message coming from football, which says that actually Mexico, Canada and the United States together can organize the biggest sporting or social event in the world together, I think it is a nice message. And that's something we have to be happy for. What was the first part?
Hassle-free ride until 2026 because of
hassle-free ride? No, it will never be a hassle-free ride. No, it will never be a hassle-free ride. I've never witnessed a hassle-free ride on anything, even the most easy topic that we are dealing with is never hassle-free. There will be a lot of hassle everywhere, but okay, now we focus on this World Cup in Russia, then we will enjoy the World Cup in 22 in Qatar, and then we'll think about the 26 World Cup.
For your information, there are 7 people on my waiting list, so some of them are raising their hand. So just for your information.
I will be short. I will try to be short.
No, it's more for...
Sorry. So more questions. Sorry. Don't take it as being impolite if I'm short. If I can.
Perdón. Presidente Infantino, Rubén Rodríguez de Fox Sports México. Preguntarle dos en una. Con la nominación de Estados Unidos, México y Canadá como sede del 2026, la FIFA esperaría que Estados Unidos cesen un poco en las investigaciones que han hecho sobre la FIFA y que han recaído en amaños, en el tipo de manejo que se daba antes. ¿Cree que Estados Unidos merme los ataques constantes que ha tenido hacia la organización? Y su opinión sobre México como una sede con 3 mundiales, un caso nunca visto.
Bueno, estoy muy contento por México, por supuesto. Mi primer congreso como presidente de la FIFA fue en México, en Ciudad de México, entonces conozco la pasión de México por el fútbol. El Estadio Azteca es un estadio, uno de esos pocos estadios en el mundo que tiene una historia increíble. Por lo que es de las investigaciones, que eso no tiene nada que ver con las investigaciones, por lo que concerne FIFA, nuestras investigaciones internas se acabaron y hemos enviado todo el material, por supuesto, a las autoridades suizas, americanas, y estamos colaborando. Y bueno, personalmente estoy muy contento con cada autoridad pública que nos ayude a luchar contra la corrupción o contra hechos que no tendrían que pasarse en el fútbol, porque nosotros somos un organismo privado y hay límites en lo que podemos hacer, ¿no? Entonces, que sean los americanos, los suizos, los alemanes, los italianos o los mexicanos que nos ayudan a luchar contra temas como corrupción y temas asimilados, bueno, estamos muy contentos y los agradezco de verdad a todos, y pueden contar con mi colaboración, con la colaboración de la FIFA en todos sentidos y en todos lados. Gracias.
Hello, I'm Paul Ødegaard from the Norwegian football magazine Josimar. In the opening speech today, you also praised yourself, your administration, for having cleaned up FIFA with strong governance principles and so on. But also during your reign, a lot of chairmen of the independent committees was removed at the last Congress. And one of them, Miguel Maduro, who was a former chairman of the governance committee, he publicly said that he was pressured by Thomas Wesel and Fatma Zamora to make Vitaly Mutko eligible for the FIFA Council. Do you consider that to be an advancement in governance principles?
I think we did a lot in terms of governance in FIFA. I think we are not perfect. Certainly we are not perfect. Certainly we can improve. I think, well, nobody is perfect, and we are far from that. But we try. We try to do it with sincerity and in the best interest of football. I think that Mr. Mutko, if you allow me to answer, I think that Mr. Mutko finally was not declared eligible by the governance committee, and this shows that the mechanisms which are in place were there. I want to reiterate once again, as I said this last year and I repeated it 100 times, that nobody was removed. Terms came to an end, and we have absolute personalities with absolute integrity and with a curriculum such as FIFA has never seen before, who are members now, chairing or members of our independent organs. And, you can be very, very sure that they take their job very seriously. They don't want to make publicity for themselves. They speak with their decisions and with their acts, and that's what they have to do. And I'm very happy and proud of what we have been able to realize in these 2 years in this respect. Thank you.
Question there.
Hi. Rob Harris from Associated Press. A couple of quick ones first. Have you had a call yet from Donald Trump?
Let me check. I had 8 missed calls only. I don't know if one of the 8 is his. I don't know. I will tell you.
We'll find out.
I don't think so.
On triple hosting, will all 3 countries now make it to the World Cup? Will they all get automatic places? And is there any chance of the formula changing? And linked to that, you've praised how the triple hosting helps to bring 3 countries together. Is there any way that you have objectives to use football to bring the Middle East back together? You go across Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar so often. Is that an objective given the ongoing conflict and disputes between the nations diplomatically?
Dear Rob, if I would have the faculty to bring the Middle East together, I would do whatever I can to do so, because I think they deserve it, the world deserves it, and this must be independent of whatever football discussion can take place. If football can assist or help in this respect, then of course it would be welcome. But that's of course not the purpose of football. This I say it as a person who cares about what's happening in the world a little bit, and who sees that maybe with football, thanks to football, we can indeed try at least to build some bridges and to bring some understanding. I mean, somebody has to do it, and we try, of course, to help. What was the other? Will they qualify directly or not? This I don't know. This, CONCACAF has now 6.5 spots or slots. Spots or slots? Slots, spots, whatever. Slots, spots. Slots for the World Cup, 6.5, plus 1/2 for the host confederation. So they have 7, but they have 6 full and two halves, so to say. And it's up to CONCACAF to look into that and to see how they want to organize their qualification for this, and we'll certainly have a discussion about that in the weeks to come. Well, as you know, we have a different model now as well in terms of organization of World Cups. We don't operate anymore with the old LOC system where you had an LOC which was basically taking over the World Cup from FIFA and having to reinvent everything every 4 years. We have changed that. We have put in place a new structure through a new vision. I mean, it's not that new because it's something that I know since the Euro 2004 in UEFA, whereby FIFA now will take over responsibility for the organization of the World Cups. We start with 22, together with the Qataris in this respect, and we move then to the next level in 26. So we will discuss that. Of course, we'll discuss with the host associations, but that will all ultimately be a FIFA decision on which stadiums, which games, how many games are played here and there. They have made an agreement amongst themselves, but ultimately it will be up to FIFA to decide that.
Two questions on the third row, and then we go to Jamil.
Bonjour Monsieur le Président, Abdelrahman Ishi du journal Le Matin Maroc. Dans votre introduction, Monsieur le Président, vous avez dit que vous êtes un homme heureux, fier. J'aimerais juste savoir, est-ce que vous êtes fier pour ce que vous avez accompli ou parce que la candidature United 2026 va apporter le jackpot à la FIFA, plus de 14 milliards de dollars. Et merci.
Cher monsieur, je suis un homme heureux parce que aujourd'hui j'ai eu l'opportunité de regarder un petit peu en arrière et je suis fier tout en étant humble. Humblement fier, je ne sais pas si on peut être humblement fier, mais je le suis de tout ce qu'on a pu faire ces 2 dernières années ici à la FIFA. Je pense qu'on a pu le démontrer, je pense qu'on a pu le démontrer aussi avec ce processus de candidature. Je suis content et je suis heureux que ce processus se soit déroulé dans la meilleure des façons. Ma tâche en tant que président de la FIFA était celle de veiller à ce que les choses se passent correctement, à ce que les choses se passent bien, à mettre en place le cadre, le système, les règlements, à proposer, à impulser pour qu'on puisse arriver à cette journée sans agressivité, sans arrière-pensée, mais avec la conviction d'avoir fait tout ce qu'on a pu pour donner la possibilité aux membres de la FIFA de voter en leur âme et conscience et de décider qui doit organiser la Coupe du Monde 2026. Donc, une décision a été prise, le Congrès est souverain. On a fait tout ça devant tout le monde et ça, je pense, c'est quand même assez unique et je suis content, je suis heureux pour ça. Voilà. Merci.
Buenas tardes, presidente. Vito Amalfitano del diario La Capital de Mar del Plata, Argentina.
Amalfitano.
Amalfitano.
Seguro que no eres de...
Hijo de italianos.
Sur de Italia. Bueno.
Hijo de italianos. La pregunta es si México, Canadá y Estados Unidos tienen el Mundial de 2026 y pasa al continente americano, si pierde posibilidades la candidatura de Argentina, Uruguay y Paraguay para 2030. Y la otra pregunta tiene que ver con la preocupación de la FIFA por los derechos humanos. Hay un marplatense de mi ciudad, Federico Adieci, que trabaja en programas de derechos humanos en la FIFA y quería saber cuál es el impacto de la respuesta esta a Palestina con respecto a no aceptar la moción para alguna decisión con respecto a los derechos humanos. Gracias.
Bueno, hemos decidido hace una hora más o menos el Mundial 2026, después de un proceso, un procedimiento muy detallado, muy largo, muy complejo también, y estamos contentos por esto. Y no vamos a pensar ya a partir de hoy al 2030. Ahora disfrutamos este Mundial, hemos hecho las cosas bien, lo han reconocido todos y dentro de un tiempo ya vamos a ver que va a pasar por el Mundial 2030. Por los derechos humanos, bueno, creo que hemos explicado y nuestro miembro del Consejo, Fernando Sarné, ha explicado muy detalladamente y muy bien qué hacemos y por qué el Consejo decidió unánimemente de votar no a esta postura de la Federación de Palestina, porque podía poner en peligro todo lo que ya hacemos en cuestiones de derecho humano. Y hacemos mucho, y lo puede preguntar a Federico, por supuesto, que es el que sabe mucho más que yo de este tema. Los derechos humanos es algo de fundamental, de importante, que están los estatutos de la FIFA después de las reformas, y trabajamos mucho en esto. Por supuesto, no vamos a resolver todos los problemas del mundo en derechos humanos, pero podemos influir, y creo que se están viendo también algunas consecuencias concretas de lo que hacemos en algunos países, y de eso también, podemos estar un poquito orgullosos. Hay mucho más que hacer. Seguiremos luchando por los derechos humanos en todo el mundo, sabiendo también que para nosotros el diálogo es siempre la respuesta correcta y no la confrontación o el ataque.
Jamil?
No, Mr. Fantino, Jamil Shade from South São Paulo, Brazil. Two quick questions. You mentioned that, in fact, FIFA is not toxic, but if we take the sponsors that you have, it shows very clearly that there was a shift. Out of the 20, you have 12 either Russians or Chinese. If you take Westerns, you only have 5. So is FIFA changing, let's say, its access to other places of the world in terms of money-wise? And still on the qualifications, do you think that 48 will transform the qualifications in South America into an irrelevant tournament? Thank you.
No, I think that the qualifications in South America are the hardest qualification in the world, in any case. And probably even if you would have 9 out of 10 who qualified, would still be tough to qualify. I don't know how CONMEBOL thinks to organize the qualifications, but I think they will be as exciting as ever. And we had again the proof this year with those who qualified and those who didn't, and those who qualified in the last match day, and so on. What was the first one? The sponsors, the access. Yeah. Okay. Well, the Congress just decided to bring the World Cup to North America, and you're telling us we move to Asia. I don't know. Maybe that all the potential sponsors from the western part of the world are already on board, and that's why we have to go to see other territories. But let's not forget that FIFA is a worldwide organization. It's a worldwide organization. We have members, we have 211 members from all over the world, and we have partners from all over the world. And we are very proud and very happy of all our partners, and I think that the future will show us that we'll become even more global than what we are today.
We have still 3 questions remaining. One here, one on first row, and the last one for Kiranic.
Buenas tardes, presidente Infantino. Por acá Salvador González de MBS Televisión en México. Un par de cuestiones. ¿Le gustaría ver a una final más de Copa del Mundo en el histórico Estadio Azteca, donde ya se han coronado Pelé y Maradona? Y si puede mandarle un mensaje a Rafael Márquez, que en esta edición completará 5 mundiales, al igual que Lothar Matthäus, Antonio Carvajal y Gigi Buffon.
Bueno, felicitaciones, por supuesto, por los 5 mundiales. Es algo de histórico. Gigi Buffon quería hacer 6, pero desafortunadamente Italia no está. Por él y por algunos más. Pero, por supuesto, 5 mundiales uno tiene que hacerlos, ¿no? Ya he olvidado también J'oublie, ¿Qué era la primera? Estadio Azteca de la final. Vamos a mirarlo todo. El Estadio Azteca, como dije ya, es un estadio absolutamente histórico, donde se escribieron páginas de leyenda, no solo de historia de fútbol. Es un estadio que respira fútbol y te corta el respiro cuando entras. Es uno de esos estadios que vive. Y bueno, algo que creo ya está bastante claro es que el Estadio Azteca va a ser uno de los estadios del Mundial 2026. Vamos a ver cuáles son los partidos que se van a jugar ahí. Es prematuro, creo, hablar de esto. Podéis ya preguntárselo a los que van a venir después aquí, si tienen una idea, pero al final va a decidir la FIFA.
Hello, Mr. Infantino. Lee Wellings here from Al Jazeera English. In April, President Trump sent a tweet saying it would be a shame if countries lobbied against the United States before the vote had happened. Are you concerned about political interference from Mr. Trump particularly?
I'm not concerned about anything. I'm not concerned about any political interference of anyone. I think we have provided with our procedure the opportunity for all our members to make up their own mind, based on facts, based on figures, based on reports, based on bid books. And from that point of view, I'm very happy how the process went. Let me also add that compared to what happened maybe in the past for Olympic Games or for World Cups or for even European Championships, well, I didn't see here so many heads of state or whatever trying to lobby for their country. So I think this shows that at the end of the day, what we wanted to achieve, which is, you know, let's look at these bids in a serious way, let's screen them, let's bring the result. This is the right way forward.
But you don't tolerate political interference, so are you worried about Mr. Trump, who may try to do what he wants, regardless of FIFA's rules?
I'm not worried about anything. At the least, I'm worried about the President of the United States or of Mexico or Canada, Prime Minister or anyone
You don't think
else.
he'll try and take over?
I think the question was answered.
I don't think anyone tries to take over FIFA. FIFA belongs to football and to the members of FIFA. Thank you.
So, as announced, the last question is for Kiranich.
Fabrice, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question. Zinedine Zidane decided to quit at Real Madrid when he was ahead. After what you told us today about the success of the last 2 years, why do you want to continue as FIFA president? The stress, the responsibility, the lack of family time, the criticism, all the rest. You want another 4 years of it. Why?
I want another 4 years of it because I believe in what I do. I believe in what I can do for FIFA and for football. I believe in the people who have worked with me from all over the world in the last 2 years. I believe in the eyes of these children in Haiti, in Sao Tome, in Rwanda, in Myanmar, who, when you give them a ball, they shine. I believe that there is still a lot that we can do if we remember what we have to do, which is focus on football and on football development. And I feel as well a lot of support from many around the world who want to see a strong FIFA, who want to see a FIFA who is present, a FIFA who is there to help them, a FIFA who is there to help them addressing their issues about football development, their issues about development of infrastructure, of programs. We have created a foundation, FIFA Foundation, whereby we want to take responsibility as well for our social action that must be stronger than what it was. And there is a lot to do. We have all the legends who participate in this venture, and they want to give back something to football. And for all of these people, I feel that it is definitely worth running for another 4 years, because it is a challenge. And once, I don't know if it was you or one of your colleagues asked me, did you ever regret being FIFA president? You? Huh? And I answered, I think, yes, at least 100 times every day. But at least 1 million times every day, I say how fantastic this is and what we can move and what we can do. And this is, I think, really the best one can dream about. And I really hope that we can continue working together and show to the world what we can do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Spasiba.
And I just remind you that in a few minutes, the United bid will be on stage.